Alright, so Szura's showing us how to do the wiring for loops. Zoom in on this. So he's taking one part of one of the loops and then taking the other part, and he's independently wrapping them around each wire, just like so.
Hey, how do you know which color goes to what?
Knowing in the field,
Based off of these.
based off
Tied
of
together.
those.
The old loops, they're tied together.
So
One's
are they
red,
loops?
one's green.
Yeah.
So, you know for a fact that, you know, red and green go together, and then white and black can go together as well.
Now, to know in the cabinet, you can mag it. You can test
Mag
it.
them all out.
That's right,
Yeah.
you can test
We
it.
had to do that with one of the fiber cables over there at Evelyn Gandy.
I got you. Hey, watch out for this. I accidentally pushed it in.
Ooh, little welding.
Soldering.
I know. Oh, it's called welding. I hate
So I'm guessing you're heating up those wires there, that way you can touch the solder to it
Yes, sir.
and do what it's got to do. And what's this you're putting on there, buddy?
This, I can't remember the name, flux.
Flux.
This just helps the solder to stick to the metal, or to the wire.
Alright. Zura's going to learn us something today. And so he's taking that solder and putting it on there. That's just going to help them hold together.
Yep, that's just gonna hold them together a lot better.
I didn't know when to start putting into it.
You just gotta, once it gets hot.
Don't take much because the melting point of solder is pretty low.
Yep.
Which is why it's commonly used. Because if you had something that had a higher melting point than what the wires were, you'd melt your wires before you'd put solder on them.
That is correct. Now just gotta wire nut them.
Yep.
Cap them to keep the moisture out.
Bearing.
So that's just a little weather cap then, huh?
Yes, sir. The weather cap that's got it's got some grease on the inside.
And that's to keep moisture out.
Yes, sir. It keeps the moisture out.
Like them Vaseline ones we use for, not Vaseline. What's the ones we use on Jordan River?
It's pretty much the same thing as Vaseline.
Yeah.
And just in case it's not covered, and so it's known, you never put the same loop on different wires. So you wouldn't take one loop end and another loop end and put it on the black and white wire. It'd have to be the same set loop.
Yep, that's why we got these here, and then our other set of loops I got all the way over there. That way there's no confusion as to which one goes to which.
Yup. And guys, this is you know, this is for y'all to be able to see, but this is also so I can kind of have my own little video log journal. So if I ever get to where I forget, I can just go back on here and look at it, and not only do I have an auditory, but I also have a visual guide.
So it's done. Now it's just for the other side. So one loop done.
Alright, so now he's about to repeat process. He's going to twine those together, like so. Once he gets those twisted together, then he's going to put the flux on there again.
We have had some slow down.
And then he'll put his solder on afterwards.
I don't like that.
Too high, too low. You know, have another tube up?
No. I wouldn't even mess with it because, dude, it's that area right there was
Well,
lower,
remember it bubbles
and now
up?
it's already getting up higher.
Yeah,
it was lower than that.
I just don't like that. That's a low spot. You can clearly see it.
Yeah. Oh my God, why is that hurting so bad? Angle on that right now. My hip. There he goes, heating up the wires, then touching the solder on it. Once again, let's just make sure that bonds those wires together, makes it harder for them to come apart. Not that they should have a lot of pull and tug on them, but you know,
Well,
better safe than sorry.
Cars running over it.
Yeah, but they're not tugging the wires away. But still, you don't want anything to happen. Like, let's, I guess a better example of what could end up happening. Let's say a car or truck wrecks and it smashes into this box. I mean, there's a good chance it's going to damage cables, but by the off chance it doesn't, the cables could get jerked or pulled, and it just keeps it from getting messed up. Just something to keep it going. And I mean, I'm obviously forgetting the main important part about it. Also, make sure that it keeps a solid connection. That's the big one. Because without a good solid connection, it's not going to be able to send its calls back.
So while we're out in the field doing this, Jesse, are you going to be hooking up in the cabinet? Or user?
sir? No, he may.
I didn't know you were going to be. I was going to ask why we wire these up after lunch. Are you going to go wire them up in the cabinet?
They all should be wired up in the cabinet, but I will be going to check the cabinet, yes.
There you go.
And that's that. So now he's going to put all that in there, about semi-neat. Then we'll close it up, and that's that. All she wrote.
You two will be doing
Set us
some
up.
of the other ones at the other intersection.